Today is a big day of dominoes, and if those dominoes align for a very specific closure on today's daily closure, then we will have a very high probability move over 20% over the next 90 days to the upside. Of course, the big line for today, of course, is going to still be that Revin Ribbons midband. We did not see Bitcoin reclaim the midband on the Revin Ribbons indicator from yesterday's video. Bitcoin did close slightly below on CME, which is the exchange that we look for that specific indicator. However, the gate is still more or less the same for the midband, which is 64,515. Now, if Bitcoin does close above there, that will be one of a couple of different signals that we're going to be looking at today, but that is a big one and does imply that price will try a move up past 65,000 bucks and likely above 66,000 bucks. That then has a major domino of effects, of which we'll go over in this video, that can very well take Bitcoin massively out of this range. But for right now, that is still the big focus of today. 64,515. Again, CME's closure is what to be looking at. And of course, the domino as it is, we are looking at several of the higher term timeframe stochastic momentum oscillator signals aligning with each other simultaneously, which very rarely actually happens. We're looking at the daily, the 2-day, the 3-day, the 5-day, the weekly, the 10-day, the 2-week, and perhaps even the monthly. Although not super relevant in the short term here, because obviously the monthly time frame is, well, it doesn't close until the end of the month. So we got another 2 weeks to go. But I should say already 4 of those are currently aligning. That would be the 5-day, the weekly, the 10-day, and the bi-weekly, all of the higher term timeframes of that segment, which actually do matter more. But upon today's closure, Bitcoin does close above about 64,515. Then not only will you reclaim the Revin Ribbons midband, but you'll also force the daily and the 2-day stochastic oscillators to the upside, and the 3-day could follow as soon as tomorrow's closure if Bitcoin finishes above 65,000 bucks. If all of these things happen, we can look to a major move brewing here over the next 3 months. These would be the stats as we do see 7 of those 8 higher term timeframes align. 7 would be, of course, sans that 3-day time frame, but we could maybe even see all of them realistically align at the same time. But when you get 7 aligning at the same time, if we fast forward 3 months out, basically 90 days, then the average return is about 25.5%. Again, that's the average return. Some of them are higher, some of them are lower, obviously, but that would be kind of a big deal, because ultimately, if we were to add about 25% onto Bitcoin's current price action, again, this is pending a few closures here, but if we were to add on to that, we would have something of great interest here, which would be about 81 to 82,000 bucks, and over the course of 90 days puts us where? That puts us into kind of like late-ish November, mid to late November, let's say. And more importantly, if Bitcoin were to even get around that previous, or sorry, not the previous, but the, of course, average for that move, then where does that put Bitcoin? It puts Bitcoin basically in alignment with the last previous major weekly swing high, which is 82,000 bucks and change. And if Bitcoin just gets back around that region, which is perhaps the most important lower high in this current trend, then that would imply that Bitcoin is in a position to actually flip the weekly trend. Now, of course, I want to see a weekly high or low first, but realistically, if Bitcoin does trade sideways and up from here, that is going to be your next high or low, as you can see. But until that happens, I would still keep an open mind with this. Of course, just as we've been saying over the past couple of weeks here, with Bitcoin below the Revin Ribbons midband, which technically, yes, it did close below there yesterday on CME. Again, CME is exchange that we look for, not like regular spot exchanges. Then you will very likely see the beginnings of that move. And the daily time frame over here, again, for CME right now is actually well above 64,515. In fact, trading at 64,885. And keep in mind, it does have about $100 premium over spot price action. So assuming that it finishes the day here or higher in the next 4 hours, 14 minutes, and 14 seconds and counting, a lot of 4s in that number. It's an alliteration of numbers. Then we actually do have a short-term / medium-term technical target into this blue box right here off of the Revin Ribbons indicator, which would be on the lower end about 66,225, and on the higher end, if Bitcoin were to get there, 68,350. Obviously, that would resolve the current range, which Bitcoin has been living under since essentially early June. And if Bitcoin were to even just reclaim the previous highs from the 14th of June and also, of course, the 20th of July, well, that would be a change of behavior, and that would be an actual breakout from what is shaping up to be perhaps an accumulation down here. And at that point, yeah, you're probably looking at least, mid to low 70s with potential for more, especially if these babies over here start to work out. So that is the big domino of effects. Like I said, we got 4 out of 8 right now. 2 more are pending tonight's closure. Or sorry, 2 more. Yes, 2 more pending tonight's closure. We'd have the daily, the 2-day, the 5-day, the weekly, the 10-day, the bi-weekly. Wait, hold on. I'm not counting right. Yes, we'd have 6 of them, 7 of them perhaps coming out as soon as tomorrow, and then 8 could be, of course, the monthly if that one falls through too. That is actually a really big signal here. Anyways, other than that, 3 gates. Again, today, the big focus is on 64,515. Tomorrow is going to be 65,000 bucks because that is, of course, the 3-day pivot here, which we can show very briefly on this one. Yes, if Bitcoin finishes above about 65,000 bucks, yeah, you will force that one up. So you have all 7 of those working in the same direction. That's essentially what we're looking for. And then you got the monthly close. Of course, that's just not relevant until, about 2 weeks from now. But if Bitcoin's above 65,722 by that time, which naturally you can see those dominoes would very likely lead towards, if Bitcoin does reclaim the Revin midband, then yes, you're going to have the sort of the heavens gates opening towards, likely a big fucking massive move. So other than that, let's see, let's go over here to, we've already looked at the back test. We've already looked at what kills it. Basically, Bitcoin's just, remaining below 64,515 obviously does not allow for such amazing things to be happening. But obviously the next thing that we want to be looking for is just the events of this week, because these next couple of weeks, realistically, August is kind of a quiet month, but we got a few events coming up. Tomorrow is going to be FOMC minutes. Usually this is not really that big of a deal. It's just going to kind of tell you what you already know. It's going to be the minutes from the July meeting. People sometimes make a big deal out of this. I don't really expect anything. But hey, if you're looking for an event, that would be it for tomorrow, August 19th. And then Thursday, we do see initial jobless claims, and next week is kind of the bigger week, if there is a big week of August, and that would be Q2 GDP coming out, at least the estimate, and July PCE as well, the same morning. If things want to move, that would kind of make sense, I suppose. And then, of course, Thursday through Saturday, you got Jackson Hole Symposium, so you're going to have Mr. Warsh speaking on the markets, which look like. After watching his first couple of press conferences, pretty confident he's not going to give anything away during that press conference. But hey, we can only dream. Realistically, price is coiled up for September. I don't think we're going to see anything super significant in this month of August. But like we've been going over, constructive things do happen. It's just slow and boring. And honestly, that's kind of a good sign overall. Why? As we've gone over in the past, Bitcoin with extreme low volume on exchanges, in fact, some of the lowest in history, is usually a sign of a macro bottom forming. Volume typically is lowest, not on the highs, not also on the lows, because that's an exciting time. Price coming down really volatilely, very, very volatile. Extremely volatile. Anyways, that's exciting. You got a lot of trading going on. But what happens after the low is people get bored, people get shucking out, people, go to other markets, which they probably should realistically. And that shows up in volume tailing off as people get disinterested, and typically, lows kind of form as you just really run out of sellers. It's kind of how these bear markets end. It's not so much that buyers step in, it's just sellers get exhausted and stop selling. Anyways, let's get into the analysis of the day, and let's go through it one by one. Again, Revin ribbons over here needs to reclaim 64,515 on the daily closure. Above there, good. Below there, not necessarily bad, but just, we have to play the game for another day where it's okay, is it going to close above? Is it going to close below? Who the fuck knows? But yeah, so far so good. Again, 4 hours and 9 minutes and 33 seconds left as of this moment to go. And then, of course, over here on the daily time frame, we identified yesterday that there was some hidden bullish divergence on Caretaker's RSI. That I could definitely say was already played out. And what I would say is that, look, while Bitcoin is on the verge of confirming a lot of these things, perhaps as soon as today's closure, this exact price right here, just below 65,000 bucks, is kind of like the maximum point of potential failure if things are going to fail. This is kind of exactly where you expect it to fail, right between 64.5 to 65,000 bucks. Why? Because on the daily RSI, you're already seeing a higher read than what we saw back on over here on the 7th of August. And even if we take it even further, we can see that it is higher than what we saw on the 25th of July when price was at this high at 66.5, and also this high more recently at 65 and change. So you would naturally have the conditions right for hidden bearish divergence if Bitcoin effectively gets stopped right here. And that would very well carry on with the down. High, low, lower high, same-ish low, slightly higher low, but same-ish low. This would be another lower high right there. So you can see that it is a tale of two. It's a tale of two signals right now. But I am looking at this one as still more likely dependent upon today's closure to trade at the upside. Remember, we also do have that LTI signal as well. I'll just very quickly show it to you right now without going into like a super long and arduous video about long-term macro signals. But remember, this one's beginning signals around the lows. Typically, that first signal comes about 20% off of the previous low. We've seen that in 2022. We saw it in 2018. We saw it in 2015 as well. And then you get a slew of signals pretty much on or around that same low as well, which we saw right over here. And actually more recently here on the last week of July / first week of August. So far, so good. I'm still looking at this as likely putting in a low. I do not have the confirmation for that just yet. We may have the confirmation for it as soon as the end of this month of August. And even then, I mean, I think that we could see some interesting price action to the upside in September if that happens, but it's not going to be like the explosive shit that I think a lot of people are realistically in this market for. Probably still some more boring action. Anyways, let's go check out the old prediction markets over here, the prediction markets, and let's see what we got going on with, let's actually first look at the economic sector. I'm curious to see what is it going to be for Fed decision in September. Yeah, still about 70% maintaining rate. So that is going up now. Previously, we saw it at about, I think it was like 66 it was recently, now going up to 70%. We've been saying on this channel, probably not going to be any Fed rates or raising the rates, I would say, this year. I think that these are pretty safe bets, to be honest with you, although I'm not necessarily betting on it myself. I like to play what I like to personally do on Kalshi is I like to go over here and have a little bit of fun with some fun money. And what I like to play is honestly these hourlies a lot. It just keeps me from doing dumb shit on my real accounts. But yeah, as far as this goes, do we have anything of particular interest right now? Not really. I don't know. Maybe I could sell some of those 64.8s. I don't know. Should we sell a little bit of that? Let's see what the hour is looking like right now. By the way, I do have a shill link for Kalshi in the description below. It does get you up to $500 in free trading credit, if you want to call it that, if you just trade $50 worth of volume. But anyways, like I said, I use this for fun action. I use it basically to keep myself occupied during these boring times and hopefully make a little bit of lunch money, of which we're up to 510 big ones right now. Nice. See if we can need a few thousand to buy a new firearm, though. That's what we're going for right now. Do I like these trades right here? Not terribly much, but I don't know if I would take anything. I'd probably. Oh no, we just got a new open. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, there we go. Other than that, let me go back into my notes, just make sure that we are hitting everything right now. Yep, we got that. As far as options trades, I should update for these regular videos because I understand that not everyone watches the live streams, but I closed my short put versus short stock or short futures over the weekends. That was having a little bit of a nice profit there. I didn't get the full profit, obviously. But hey, say la vie. At the end of the day, in hindsight, could have kept open those short puts, would have made the full profit on that. And I think, if I do say so myself, I did actually trade those futures quite well. But now I'm just looking for the next position. I'm pretty much flat right now. I'm considering a covered call. This is obviously not it. It would be right here if I'm going to do something as such. And what I'm considering right now is what are the premiums looking like? Not necessarily on the $65,000 call strikes expiring at the end of this month, but perhaps a little bit closer to 6.5. I'd want to get closer to the upwards boundary of current price action. If I do this, I will buy Bitcoin, 10 Bitcoins. If Bitcoin does close above 64,515 today, at whatever price right now, I just have $65,000 in there as a placeholder. But I want to position something like this, basically. I want to capture this move over the next couple of weeks. If Bitcoin rises up to the previous highs at $7,000, I will make the maximum profit right there, which is 23,175 if we do that properly, which is always easier said than done. But that's kind of what I'm considering next. I'm not going to take a position until I see something that's a little bit more obvious, though. Anyways, other than that, let's do our daily DCA. Like I said, I'm continuing to buy 100 buckaroonies of Bitcoins per day over here on Dirtbase because Dirtbase is giving me 80% reduction fees with my shill link in the description below as well. And we'll do that right here. This is actually the cheapest way I do think to accumulate Bitcoins right now from one of the major exchanges is using Coinbase Advanced because Coinbase Advanced already gets you reduction in fees. 2, using a limit order, so you're not going to get filled at market. Got to be a little bit patient, but that's okay. We got all day. I mean, we have really an eternity, I guess, until I die, I suppose. Although hopefully get filled before that. And then the other thing, obviously, is that shill link does reduce spot fees by 80% and also derivative fees by 10%. So kind of a big deal right there. Still waiting on options from Coinbase, which is why I'm ultimately showing them as of the current moment. But hey, that is coming in the not so distant future, or so I'm told, and I am very much looking forward to that. Because then I'll be able to trade perps and options on the same exchange. Don't need to keep different and separate accounts on different exchanges, which is a massive burden on my margin requirements, which is not ideal right now. But anyways, on to Bitcoin we go. Again, like I said, 64,515, big number to be aware of today for CME specifically. Bitcoin above there, great. Bitcoin below there, not terrible, but definitely not great just yet. Does open up the potential for a real rejection here. And if Bitcoin does reject here, then, well, probably looking back down towards 60,000 bucks realistically. Because I mean, you know, for fuck's sake, that would be a lower high right there. But yeah, all of those momentum pivots, like I said, on the daily, 2-day, 3-day, 5-day, weekly, 8-day. Oh, 8 days is the one that I missed. Yeah, that could be a 7th one as well. In fact, we probably already do have that. So yeah, those stats actually are probably better than what we just looked at. Anyways, yeah, we will end things on that note. We'll be back on with another live stream tomorrow. Other than that, yeah, wishing everyone the best. Take care, much love, and see you hopefully next time.